So, we're gonna talk about Are You Lonesome Tonight? Today. So, oddly, I had probably one of the most social weekends of my life, and I was left feeling really lonely yesterday. I think this is kind of key because sometimes the more social you are, right? Like you really juice yourself up with going out and hanging out and being around a lot of other people. And I was at a party on Friday night and a big cruise on Saturday night. Sometimes the feeling of loneliness comes back a little more strongly than before you did those extroverted social things, right? So, and then it just seems that a lot of people around me were also posting things about being lonely or how other people don't get them or people tell them things and say they're going to be there, but then they don't show up. And there's a lot of different forms of what loneliness looks like. Because for me, it's the same thing as disconnection. It's that feeling I'm sort of like spiraling through the air. I don't really know when and where I'm going to land, and I don't necessarily who's going to be there to know, excuse me, who's going to be there to catch me. And I'm someone who has tons of friends. Like to consider myself to be a liked person. I like people. And I can still have that feeling of a sense of darkness, or am I going somewhere in my life, or what's it all about? Will somebody be there for me if I falter or I become ill? And these are deep conversations that people tend to have with themselves. And every once in a while, they spit them out onto Facebook, which gives me something to talk about. So, what do you do about loneliness? I mean, effectively, there's two things that can help with loneliness, people, and then doing things to fill the hole, which leads you to believe that you are alone or that life is dark or that nobody is going to be there for you. And, getting over those hurdles, confronting those feelings is sometimes deep work, but it has to be done because wholeness is on the other side of it, where you feel like, oh, I have friends. I want to go out and hang out with those friends, but I can also be alone and read a book. And here I am. I'm sitting in my house and I'm perfectly happy being here. I'm not discontent with the idea of my aloneness. But it takes a lot. I remember when I was younger, I started to confront the idea that I had always been in a relationship. And I thought, what the, wait, am I never alone? And I had never really for any length of time. As soon as I broke up with I found somebody else to either date, sleep with, or, hang around with so that I didn't have to be alone. And then all of a sudden I was alone and I said, I think I'm going to do this for a little while and see what it feels like. And, I was going to the movies by myself. I was going to dinner by myself. It was weird. It was really weird. You know, um, I don't think our society is necessarily set up for people to do things on an individual basis. It's set up for them to either go with somebody or to meet other people there. And so it's tricky. But I have to tell you, as a person who's really social and as somebody who doesn't mind being alone, finding that balance is crucial for your self-esteem. Because I don't want to feel like I have to go out because I'm alone or I'm powerless over making the decision to go out because I'm in this dark place and I can't leave my bed or my house. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be ruled by my emotions. I don't want to be like ruled by my mental imprisonment about how I think the world is and how it's conspiring against me. No. So what do I do? Well, I have to fundamentally fill that hole with esteemable acts. So if I want to go out, if I want to spend time, I can go out, I can exercise, I can go meet up with friends. I can make the effort to call people. I remember this woman, I called her on her birthday and she had tons of friends. And I said, boy, you must get a lot of calls on your birthday. And she said, I make a lot of calls to other people. So, that's what it's about. It's not like she's automatically puts at the top of the popular list and everybody calls her because it's her birthday. No, she calls a lot of other people and then they reciprocate. So sometimes when I'm sitting here and I'm feeling lonely for myself or about myself, I sit there and I go, oh, I have no friends. And I'm like, I have a million friends. If nobody's calling me, it's probably because I haven't been calling them. So the choice is mine. Esteemable acts can be done to make better connections with other people, to feel like you're connected, supported, etc. And then the other part of it is really just understanding that people are fallible. They're always gonna, they're not mind readers. They're gonna do what they want to do, think they should do. And if you ask me, everybody is pretty much mostly just concerned with themselves. That doesn't mean that they don't care about you. It just means that you come after them. and they're pretty caught up in thinking about themselves. So you come secondary, and what that means is that if you want time or attention, you're going to have to ask. These are the things that grown-ups do. This is at least the way of thinking. I want everything to be like peachy keen without me having to put any work or effort into it, and that's just not reality. And it's actually emotional immaturity on my part. So here we are. I hope that you find ways to either be around enough people, feel contented with yourself, make enough effort to be able to connect to the people that you want to be there for you and that you want to be around, and that everything else for today is just a feeling. And then tomorrow, we'll see if you feel less lonely. Thanks for sharing time with me today and making my 5 minutes less lonely. Have a good day.